From the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, you are tuned in to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. We have a call. Good timing. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Well, good afternoon, Matt. It's Gene Simmons of KISS.
Gene Simmons of KISS. Wow, that's wonderful to hear from you, sir. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. What is that noise?
Oh, that was my special Gene Simmons of KISS air horn. I only use it when we get a call from Gene Simmons of KISS.
Well, I'm truly honored, Matt.
Yes, thank you. We're honored to hear from you, sir. You know, you are in my favorite band.
It's a bit annoying, but it's truly honored.
Thank you. What can we do for you, Gene Simmons of KISS?
Matt, I'm calling because I wanted to let you know, more than anybody else, I wanted to let you to be the first to know that I've added 17 more shows to the February lineup at the Schnoo Arena.
Wow, 17 more?
Yeah.
Wow.
On top of the 47 that have been added.
Yes.
To the original show.
So you're doing like a residency here in Manchester, New Hampshire.
That's correct, Matt.
I think we deserve it.
It's all because of you, Matt.
Really? It's because of me? I thought perhaps you might credit Dan Randlett. He's the biggest KISS fan I know.
Well, he is the biggest KISS fan, perhaps, in his mind, but you are letting Ace Frehley and myself stay at your place when we are there to do all 58 shows.
I had forgotten about that. Didn't we agree that Ace was going to stay somewhere else? I thought we were just going to have you stay there. We could have Ace, too?
You did mention on the air, actually, that Ace and myself could stay at your place.
Okay.
And that Jenny was going to stay somewhere else.
Right. Well, we do have a fold-out couch. I guess we can put Ace there. Oh, boy. Well, yeah, we'll get a couple of air mattresses or something. Will you and Ace, share an air mattress?
Whatever it takes. We just need a place to stay.
Yeah. All right. I'd rather have Paul stay there because he's my favorite. No offense, Gene Simmons of KISS, but Paul Stanley is my hero.
Paul will be staying at the Cadillac Motel.
Okay. Wow. No kidding. Well, you are doing a residency, so I know at the Cadillac they have long-term residence, so to speak.
Well, that's the thing. All of us were going to stay at the Cadillac Motel, but it's fully booked.
Oh.
They have rooms there for a lifetime.
Right. Michael Alber, who is a top fan, is asking, will Shannon Tweed be there? Your lovely bride.
Shannon and I are on sabbatical.
Oh, you are?
That's correct.
Oh, no. Like a separation?
Matt, there are some things that I just don't want to talk about because they're very personal.
I understand. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Gene Simmons of KISS. I was hoping maybe, what about her sister, Tracy? Is she going to be around? I'm just asking for
Probably.
Michael. Michael was wondering.
Most likely.
Yes. All right. Well, that's fine then.
And don't forget to catch me next Thursday in the Mall of New Hampshire parking lot while I'll be ringing the bell for the Salvation Army at JCPenney.
Wow, no kidding. Oh, boy.
From noon to 1.
Right. And then do you hand that off to the people's mayor, Glenn R.J. Willett?
I'm sorry, you cut out there, Matt. What was that?
Oh, I was just asking, do you then hand that off to the people's mayor, Glenn R.J. Willett, because he does that?
Yes, he'll be taking over for me at 1 o'clock.
That's exciting. Wow. Very nice. You're going to be very busy. You're going to have a busy holiday season, Gene Simmons of KISS.
That's correct. And if you donate $10 while you're there with me at JCPenney, I will give you 25% off KISS tickets at the Schnoo Arena in February.
Somehow I doubt that.
Oh, ye of little faith, Mom.
Did you talk that over with Paul? Because I only ask because Gene Simmons of Kiss, I know you're this, you present yourself as this great businessman, but the Kiss fans, we kind of know that it's actually Paul Stanley who runs the band. I mean, we've kind of figured that out.
Paul and I have worked this out. Paul is okay with this.
He signed off?
It was Paul's idea.
Okay. All right. If you say so, Gene Simmons of Kiss, if you say so.
Well, they approached Paul and they asked him if he wanted to do it, and he didn't want to do it. So I said, I'll do the Mall of New Hampshire thing if Easy G does it with me. So Easy G will be standing there with me at the Mall of New Hampshire from noon to 1, ringing the bell.
Who do you feel is the bigger star, Gene Simmons of Kiss? You or Easy G?
Oh, is this a trick question? Or?
No. I'm sincerely, I'm very sincere. I'm always very sincere, sir.
Well, Matt, as you know, the biggest star ever is Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Yes.
But Easy G is, by all means, the local Manchester star.
Right.
After Michael Martineau.
Yes. Michael Martineau is clearly the biggest star of all.
Yes, I am.
Clearly the biggest star.
Yes. Brian Mackey in the Facebook live chat says, "Hi, Matt. I think you should have Paul call in." Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, Paul is my favorite, but we seem to have established a relationship with Gene Simmons of Kiss. He's joined us many times. He's even joined us here in the studio, although he always looks a little different. But he's in disguise.
Paul Stanley's way too busy. Paul Stanley's way too busy to be calling into radio shows.
Even this one? It's very disappointing.
Well, that's his mantra, I guess you could say.
What is his mantra? I'm too busy?
I'm too busy to call into radio shows.
Oh. Well, he is a spiritual man.
Very much so.
Yes. Wow. Well, you should now while you're here, Gene Simmons of Kiss, will you be connecting with Scumpy from the band Defcon?
I might be bumping into him.
Wow. It's very exciting. He plays some of your songs, I think.
That's right, yes. I give him full permission to play any song that he wants to cover.
Right. Brian says, I talked to Paul earlier today. He's not busy.
I'm sorry, you cut out again. He's not what? He's not busy?
Brian claims that he talked to Paul earlier and he's not busy. And Michael Albert claims that Easy G is a colonel in the Kiss Army.
They're both correct.
Wow. Oh, my. And Stefan Philbrook joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Stefan Philbrook's another big fan.
Yes, he is. Do you still hang out with, I know you're friends with President Trump, or at least you were during your appearance on The Apprentice. It seems like you guys were pretty chummy. Do you still talk with him?
Donald Trump is a tool.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Gene Simmons of Kiss. You run a risk of alienating some of your audience with that kind of talk. I'm very surprised.
No, I mean, he's a very useful tool of the government, and everybody needs him.
Right. Well, you also risk alienating some of your audience with being so pro-Trump, Gene Simmons of Kiss. I thought you'd be more, I thought you would dodge the question, but I give you credit for meeting it head on. Stefan in the Facebook live chat says, it's that time of year where I need to share some sappy comments with Mr. Gene Simmons. He wants to share sappy comments with you. Brian says, Stefan Philbrook is a Paul man. Sorry, Gene. And Archie Frangudis joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Hello, fans.
Yes. You do bring the fans, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Well, when word gets around that Gene Simmons of Kiss is going to be on there, people do take part, and their community. It's the KISS Army, Matt.
Yes, yes. You've got the KISS Army. You've got the KISS Navy with the cruise, the annual KISS cruise that you guys do. It's amazing.
That's right. And this time of the year, we have the KISS Salvation Army. And as I said, don't forget, we'll be at the Mall of New Hampshire this Saturday from noon till 1 with EZG, banging the tambourine, asking for money, and 25% off KISS tickets from donations of $100 or more.
Right. I'm still very skeptical about that, Gene Simmons of KISS. That doesn't sound real to me.
Oh, I promise. Just look for me. Just look for me. I'll be in full Gene Simmons garb with the Santa hat on and the tambourine, and Easy G by my side.
Amy Hazard King says, useful tool. Referring to Donald Trump, I believe. Stefan says, not comments, commercials, sappy commercials, Stefan says. Do you know what he's referring to, Gene Simmons of KISS?
I do know what he's referring to.
Oh, you do? Okay. I wondered if he was referring to this commercial. Remember this?
KISS. The incredible, outrageous rock group wants you to kiss your face. Introducing Kiss Your Face Makeup. Just like the makeup worn by Gene, Paul, Peter, or Ace. Kiss Your Face Makeup has all the equipment you need. Professional makeup, brushes, and cream remover with makeup diagrams so you can look like Gene, look like Paul, look like Peter, or look like Ace. So kiss your face and get your act together.
Kiss Your Face Makeup is from Remco. Yeah.
Do you remember that, Gene Simmons of KISS?
I do remember that. Wow. I do remember that. Paul actually wrote the words to that commercial. He's a brilliant writer.
Paul. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, good. I didn't know he wrote the commercials.
Paul writes everything for KISS.
Well, what about this one? Did he write this one?
That's the name, KISS. They may look insane, KISS. It rocks the game, it's KISS.
This is KISS, each sold separately, and you can put them in any crazy pose you want.
That's the name, KISS. They may look insane, KISS. It rocks the game, it's KISS.
KISS, each 12.5-inch figure sold separately by Mego.
Wow. Did Paul write that one?
That one was a collaboration, actually. A lot of people don't know this one. Paul Stanley actually sat with Alice Cooper and wrote that commercial.
Wow.
1977.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, the ad came out in 78, so that makes sense. Brian Mackey says, let's review banging on the tambourine and asking for money. Yep, sounds like the 80s. Stephen Philbrook says, better get ready to cry, Gene. I'm about to jam your inbox with sappy commercials. Oh, no.
It doesn't surprise me.
Well, all right. I feel like there's some sort of inside thing there with you and Mr. Philbrook, Gene Simmons.
Well, Mr. Philbrook has, during this time of the year, Mr. Philbrook likes to share very intimate holiday commercials with Gene Simmons of KISS.
Ah. All right.
Don't ask me why. I have no idea, but it's very nice, actually. Very touching.
Yes, yes. Brian Mackey shared a link to Beth by KISS, but you didn't write that. That was Peter Criss, of course.
That is right.
Yes, yes.
Do you know who that song is about? Who that song is about?
Well, I know that
song, Beth?
I know that originally it was titled Beck, and then because it was about a young lady named Becky, and then Gene Simmons suggested changing it to Beth. Otherwise, people might think he had written a song about Jeff Beck. That's the story I heard. Oh, is that not true, Gene Simmons of KISS?
No, the song is about Beth.
Oh. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I thought the story I heard was a little better, but okay.
Yeah, no, that's all fluff. The story you heard about Beck, and I've heard that Jeff Beck thing.
Yes.
There is absolutely nothing to do with Jeff Beck. The song is about Beth. It was about some chick that Peter met in a bar one night. He stooped her, blew her off, gave her $50, let her go, and that was it. The song's about Beth. And she really, quite frankly, wasn't that good looking.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, the record company said, hey, look, we need a 9th track on the album. So Peter sat down and wrote Beth.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, her name was Bertha, but it didn't go well with the rest of the song, so
Right.
we named it Beth.
Right, yeah. Bertha wouldn't work as well, yeah.
Bertha, I hear you calling.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work.
Doesn't work, no. Michael Albert says, what is it touching? I'm not sure what he's referring to. Is he referring to your tongue? Stefan says, asking for a friend, Gene, what is the best way to treat your skin? Make sure it's moist after it's been wrapped in plaster. I'm just talking about a part of my body. Oh, my.
Oh, dear. I'm not going to answer that. I'll private message you. I'll private message you, fan.
That's probably
Was
for the best.
that Stefan?
That was Stefan Philbrook. Yes, yes.
Right. Yes, I'll private message him on that one.
Well, there is a song about that I might have to end the show with today. Plaster Caster.
Plaster Caster?
Yes,
Yes.
From Destroyer.
Grab hold of me faster, Matt.
Those are the lyrics. Yes.
Right.
Right.
You know who wrote that song?
You did, I think, didn't you, Gene Simmons of Kiss?
I actually wrote that song with the great Paul Williams.
Wow, really? I remember Paul Williams, a little guy.
Yes.
Short little guy.
The little guy. Actually still alive. He also wrote the theme to The Love Boat.
I didn't know that. Did you help him write that?
No, I didn't help him write that. Ace did.
Oh,
Ace Frehley and Paul Williams wrote the theme to The Love Boat.
I had no idea. I learned so much from you, Gene Simmons of Kiss. We all do.
Well, it's the holiday season. It's the time of giving, so I figured I'd reveal a few things.
Yes, I think that's wonderful. Well, Gene Simmons of Kiss, we'll have to go in a moment. Fridays we wrap
Listen,
up.
I gotta go. Yes, I do have to go. I am on tour, and we're on
Yes.
stage right now. We're just taking a break. There's been a drum solo on for the past 20 minutes, and I'm sure his arms are getting really tired. So I got to get back on stage.
All right, Gene Simmons of Kiss, thank you so much for the call.
Hey, and listen, God gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to everyone.
Yes, to everyone. Thank you, Gene. All right, Gene Simmons of Kiss. Wow, very exciting. Can you believe? I mean, is that why you? That's probably the real reason you come in, Michael Martineau, because you get to talk to the stars.
Yes, I do.
You get to talk to Easy G. You get to talk to Gene Simmons of Kiss. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Talking to you every day.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd say that, Michael Martineau. Thank you very much, and that deserves. Yes. All right. Well, we do need to wrap up because it is Friday, and of course, on Fridays, we finish up the program a little bit early because we are followed by at 6 p.m. Granite State of Mind, hosted by the great Rob Azevedo, and Rob has typically live musicians come in and play, so they need a bit of time to set up. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to Gene Simmons of Kiss for calling. As well as Matt Nissenhoff from the Politipod podcast. That was a lot of fun talking with him. Thank you, Michael Martineau. Always nice to see you.
Yep. Always nice to see you as well.
Yes, yes. Thank you to all our new listeners on KCOW, even though Michael doesn't believe in you. And Thank you to everybody in the Facebook live chat. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. From the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, you are tuned in to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed.
I know you're somewhat a wrestling fan, right?
I am a wrestling fan. Yes, Michael Martineau.
I want to bring something up that happened yesterday.
Oh, what happened?
You know Jim Cornette?
Yes, Jim Cornette. I listen to his podcast occasionally, the Jim Cornette Experience. Because what I like about Jim Cornette, not only does he have decades of experience in the wrestling business, but he also talks about politics on his show, too. And he's very, very funny.
Yeah, so the NWA recently, is having a comeback. So they have a online series called NWA Power every Tuesday. They release it 6 o'clock at night, and he had to resign because of a comment he made on air during the show.
But before you go any further, Michael, we should just clarify for people. So the NWA is the National Wrestling Alliance,
yes,
an organization that goes back, I think, more than 100 years at this point, probably. They've had a bit of a resurgence. They have a show that airs strictly on YouTube, called NWA Power, because it's spelled with multiple R's at the end. And it's the promotion that was purchased by Billy Corgan recently. Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins now owns the NWA.
Yeah, so the first match on the show last night was a non-title match between the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis, who was formerly Magnus in TNA.
In TNA, yes.
So basically,
and he's married to Mickie James, by the way, who currently is in WWE.
Yeah. And Trevor Murdoch, who used to be in WWE. So Cornette had to. So during the match last night, Cornette made a comment, and he had to resign afterward because he was trying to please Murdoch, who's been a veteran of the wrestling industry for 20.
Yeah, he was in WWE for a while.
Yeah. So it was a non-title match, and then Cornette was trying to praise Murdoch for his toughness, and then he went super racer on it. Do you want to hear what the comment is?
Yeah, you can tell us what he said. And just to be clear, this is Michael's going to tell us what Jim Cornette said during commentary during the match. This is not Michael saying it. It's Michael telling us what Cornette said.
He's the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia.
Right. And people, so from what I understand, because I did see this, and I just got the Facebook Live video back up. Sorry about that, everybody. The system here froze up is what happened, so I had to reboot it. From what I understand, the NWA actually ended up taking down the video, because this show that they're doing that's on YouTube, it's an hour every week, and they took it down, and they're editing out Cornette's comments, and then I assume they will, if they haven't already, they'll be putting it back up.
Yeah, because I wasn't late last night, so I'm gonna guess another call on your phone again.
No, just somebody commenting. Mike Pelopita joins us in the Facebook Live chat. Hello, Mike. Yeah, so I'm sorry, did you say, what did you just say? I got distracted by the Facebook thing.
I thought you were getting a phone call on your phone.
No, but before that, did you say, did they already put the video back up, or are they still?
Yeah, or because they have it scheduled for every Tuesday night at 6:00. I heard it got taken down. Then they put it back up because it was like 8 minutes into the showtime that he said the comment. So
Now, have you watched the show, by the way? Have you watched any of this? I don't mean that episode specifically, but just general. Have you watched?
yeah, I try to watch it. It's a interesting product for like it is going to research. It's kind of, and they're going back to the old school field of doing it in the TV studio, and it's a pretty nice comment. They've got some good characters in there and some good names that you'll recognize. So it's
but the appeal of the show. And I've only watched a little bit because I've just been so busy. I haven't even been keeping up on the normal wrestling shows that I watch because I like to watch NXT and I like 205 Live.
Yeah, I was at Monday Night Raw in Boston on Monday night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But because I do want to hear about it. But I did watch a little bit because I got curious.
Oh boy. How long did you get this cough over? It's been like 3 weeks.
No, it's been about 6 years now. I've been coughing. But it can't be anything terminal or would have killed me by now. So, no, I did watch a little bit of it. And, no, it's very well done. If you like, hello to Archie Frangutis, who rejoins us on Facebook. If you like the old school wrestling, kind of like when I was growing up in the 80s, it kind of reminds me of that, but it's very well done. It's not cheesy or hokey or anything, but it's just done in kind of that old school style. They even have like a cheesy, 80s rock song for a theme. And it's pretty cool.
Into the Fire by Dawkins.
Yes. Into the Fire by Dawkins. Yeah. Geez, maybe I'll play that at the end of today's show, but, so that's kind of fun. So no, but it is very well done, and that's been the appeal. The response to it online, I know, has been very positive because people really like it. That it's like got this old school vibe, but it doesn't look. I mean, it looks modern and everything. And they've obviously put some money into it. Billy Corgan has put some money into it, and so forth. And you may have other investors. I don't know, but yeah. So the Jim Cornette comment. Now, has he addressed? Do you know if he's addressed the comment other than he's now resigned?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Well, here's what's so interesting about it to me. And by the way, Cornette, if you listen to his podcast, and like I said, it's called the Jim Cornette Experience, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it much lately, but I really enjoy it because they not only do they talk about wrestling, and I'm a wrestling fan, since I was probably 12 years old, but he also talks a lot about politics. And boy, I'll tell you, if you want to hear someone really eviscerate Trump, Cornette is brutal on the guy. But Cornette, he's very liberal, and here's my theory. I wonder, because I don't think he would say anything racist. Hello to Jenny, who rejoins us in the Facebook live chat. I don't think he would say anything racist just because, for one thing, from listening to his podcast, I know how he feels about racism. So when he made the comment about, Trevor Murdoch, he could strap fried chicken on his back and walk through Ethiopia.
Or ride a bike through Ethiopia, because
right.
Murdoch is a tough competitor all his life, and he's trying to make a comeback into the NWA. So it's
now, yeah, and he's kind of a redneck. Well, at least in WWE, he was kind of a redneck character. I don't know if that's what he is in.
Or he's from Texas, so.
Well, not everyone from Texas. Michael, are you saying that everyone from Texas is a redneck? Uh-oh. You're going to have to resign now. You've said you racist. No, I'm kidding.
No. I'm holding back on that comment because my meme lives in Texas and she's...
Oh my goodness. Wait, your meme lives in Texas and you just said something racist about your own meme. Oh my
God.
Boy, I thought Easy G had some terrible scandals over the years on these programs, but you, sir, you have stepped in it. And you know what? You've stepped in a big Texas cow pie. Is that what they call that? Or cow patty? No, cow pie. That's not cow pie. It's not cow pie. It's cow patty. That's what I meant to say. Cow pie is something else. Cow pie is what, now when I was a kid, my mother, have you ever had shepherd's pie?
Yes.
Well, my mother, she would make it with ground beef, so she called it cow pie because it's from a cow. That's what I meant. That's why I was thinking about that. Do you have anything racist you'd like to say about your mother, or just your just your meme? Would you like to publicly apologize for your comments? I think you should.
I'm sorry about the comment I made about rednecks in Texas. That's my fault.
Yeah, that was your fault, Michael. Because here's the thing. Here's why I think it's a good idea to apologize. Someday, if you decide to run for public office, and I'm thinking specifically, let's say you decide to run for president, you can't win without Texas. But actually, that's not true. Why am I saying that? Because if that were true, then no Democrat would ever win the presidency. You can win without Texas, Michael, but you might not want to have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might need those Texans.
Yes.
So, and let's be honest. I mean, not everyone. I mean, maybe most of them. Beto O'Rourke is clearly not a redneck. He's very well spoken, which is not to say that most Texans aren't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying what Michael Martineau said. I wouldn't sign on to that comment. My goodness. Well, I hope you, now are you going to call her to apologize? Because she probably listens to the show.
I don't think she does, but I'll probably hear it from my dad, probably.
Oh, Michael, I just received a text message from her. She says her feelings are very hurt.
She doesn't have your number.
Well, she has I give the number out on the show. She's
Baby said she's not on Facebook that often.
Well, you just stream it online, Plus I forgot to tell you. So what city does she live in?
She's in the Fort Worth, Dallas area.
Right. I forgot to mention, and there was a big announcement too. I was supposed to say it at the top of the show. I totally forgot. We've been syndicated to Dallas, Fort Worth. We're on a big station there. It's KCOW. We're on KCOW in Dallas, Fort Worth. And the show runs on a loop. So we're live there during this 2-hour block, and then the show just replays over and over on KCOW in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Come on, phone work.
Yeah, I know. You're panicking now, right? Because you want to call her and tell her, don't listen to KCOW. All right. I'm sorry, Michael. Anyway, tell us about. We'll move on from this terrible scandal. Okay, before we move on from this, I do have to ask you, what do you think is the bigger scandal? You saying terrible things about Texans, or you getting thrown out of the DEF CON show under the influence of Jeff Scumpy Lorenz, that Trump-supporting, satanic music playing guy?
I thought we already clarified that a couple weeks ago. Jeez.
Oh, that's true. We did clear the air on that. So that would mean this is the bigger scandal because the other one's been dealt with. This is probably your meme calling. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, guys. How are you?
That sounds like our friend Paul Cormier.
Well, yes, it is.
Hi, Paulie C.
How are you?
I'm good.
That's Mikey Martineau, isn't it?
He's a bit flustered at the moment. I don't know if you heard what he said. It was terribly offensive.
What did he say?
Hi, I'm not repeating it on the air.
Me either.
Oh my goodness, no. No.
Wow.
No. How are you,
Must
Paul?
have been very offensive.
You ever say anything on the air that you later regretted?
Of course.
Yes. But you know better to repeat them a second time, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I said many things on the air that I regret. It's called Retro Spectrum Radio.
Oh, yes. There were a few of those moments.
What do we do that for 6 months? I got 6 months of audio footage that I regret saying on the air.
6 months of regret. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
No, we had fun doing that.
We
Not
did.
6 months of regret.
we did. No, I know. It was a lot of fun. Yes.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Who? I just turned on the radio as I do every day at about 5:37 or so.
Yes.
And who else you got there besides Mikey Martineau?
It's just me and Mikey.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Wow.
just us
sounds
guys.
like you had a whole party going on in there. I turned the radio on. It sounded like there was a whole bunch of fun going on in there. But you guys are, you two are a party in yourselves, I guess.
Thank you. Well, we did get a call earlier from Dr. Jeff Cassell.
Right?
So he
And
he
then
called us.
EZG as well. We got a call from me.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I forget about EZG. Well, he kind of brought us down a little bit. That's okay.
Did he?
Well, he told us, about what the Tibbetts clan having a death. So that was sad.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Tibbetts came on the morning show this morning and announced it with us, and
Yes.
that was a surprise. We weren't even expecting him to walk through the door. So
Oh, you didn't even know he was in the area? Because
no.
Oh wow.
Peter was all flustered too. Peter didn't know that he was going to walk in either. So
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there he was, and he was his chipper self, but he did bear that bad news about his mom passing away.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's too bad.
And much condolences to T and his wonderful brother Gary, who used to be a Manchester police officer,
Yeah.
who also lives in Florida now. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now they're just up here visiting, right? They didn't move back up, right?
no, yeah, they're just here visiting.
Because Eric sounded a little
hopefully-
confused.
Hopefully they'll be here for the holidays. But
Yeah.
he mentioned this morning that Gary was up here visiting as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Gary and Val
But I don't-
is his wife,
I don't-
right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying Val is his wife, right?
Yes, I
And
believe so. Yeah.
And she's the one who does the good morning, Peter, right? That's Val?
Yes, that's Gary's wife. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay. Gotcha.
I can do it just as good as Val, actually.
Can
you ready
you?
for this?
I'm ready. Don't make it too sexy, though.
Good morning, Peter. How's that?
That's pretty good. I'm secure enough in my
Thank you.
masculinity to say that was pretty sexy. What do you think, Michael?
All right, now
Martineau?
here's my impression of Gene Simmons doing Val. All right, ready?
Oh, my. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Peter.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I don't know how to feel about that or what to make of it.
Hold on, let me try to do that one again. Good morning, Peter. How's that?
That's hot. That's hot stuff.
Hey, listen, on a lighter note, the thing we were talking about the other night, Friday, about having an arcade date with one of the fans, actually happened.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. And
It did.
Ed Murphy told me about it when we were partying on Saturday night, but it happened earlier on Saturday. I missed you.
When you were partying?
Yeah, at Panucci's.
Yes.
Why do I feel there's another
Yes.
scandal here?
No. This should be emo. Yeah, I won't say.
Right.
Yes, it was 80s night at Panucci's on Saturday night.
Yeah, Radio
and,
Star.
That's where I think, is that where you were partying, Mike?
Yep, with Ed Murphy and Al.
When you were partying, were you getting it in? I think that's what the young people say now. They talk about getting it in.
One woman approached me and we danced, and I didn't even completely know about.
But were you getting it in?
I didn't get that far, but we didn't get that far, but it was a fun time.
You were almost getting it in, is what you're saying, Michael Martineau.
Almost, and she was twice as old as me.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with an older woman.
Just remember to pull it out if you get it in.
Oh my goodness, Paul Cormier! You took it in I can't believe you would say that. My goodness. Well,
it's true. You don't want it. You don't want any little Mikey Martineaus running around unplanned, dude.
I agree with that policy.
Right.
Especially conceiving on the dance floor at Panucci's, if you know what I mean.
That'd make a great story though for the kids and the grandkids and future generations. Right. How that occurred. Well, then again, if she's twice, if this woman is twice Mr. Martineau's age, that might not even be plausible.
Oh, so Mikey's mixing it up with the older ladies these days.
He's just like Christian Lacoste. He likes a cougar. You like the Cougars, Mikey?
Apparently I do.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
Absolutely
with that.
not.
Nothing wrong with that. Wow.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Amy Hazard King is in the Facebook live chat. She says, and it was a great time, Paul. We also helped park a car. Ha. What does that mean? Is this a scandal?
Yes.
All these scandals.
Oh, no. Amy and I were walking down Elm Street. Actually, we had just parked on Elm Street, parallel, right in front of the Pint.
Yes.
And while we were sitting there, 1 minute had passed, and somebody had pulled out ahead of us, left their parking spot, and our car full of young ladies pulled up to try to attempt to parallel park in the spot that was now open in front of us. And we watched them like a train wreck or a fire out of control for 5 minutes trying to parallel park this car. And it was the funniest thing on the planet. I mean, I could sit here and try to describe this to you, but it would be ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous thing I had ever witnessed in my life, watching these people try to, and then halfway through this car, by the time that the first person in the car decided to bail out of trying to parallel park, their car was already horizontal on Elm Street.
Wow.
If you could picture that. So they swapped seats. They did musical chairs in the car where the passenger now jumped out of the car and took the driver's seat, and she tried parking the car. And she couldn't do it either. So by this time, Amy and I wanted to go to the arcade. You know, I was jonesing for some Dig Dug and some Space Invaders and everything else. So we got out of the car, and as we were walking by these ladies who were still trying to parallel park their car, 5 minutes now, Amy just looked over to them and said, "Do you need some help?" And they said yes. So Amy climbed in the car and parallel parked their car in under 10 seconds.
Wow, no kidding.
Yes.
That's impressive. I do have some empathy, though, for those young ladies because I also am terrible at parallel parking. I suspect it might be genetic because so is my mother. When I was growing up, my mother always said that had she had to parallel park during her driving test, she never would have been able to get her license. And I, too, struggle with it. In fact, I am the innovator of the 28-point turn. I don't know if you knew that about me, Paul Cormier.
Really? I was wondering who invented that.
That is me. That was me. What? You cut out there, Paul.
I said fantastic.
Ah, yes. All I heard was and then nothing. Yes.
I said I'm a big fan.
Oh,
anyway,
yes.
Listen, I just wanted to let you know that the date went through without a hitch. I pulled it off. I got in. Is that the phrase? I went in.
You got it in. That's what the young people say now. You were getting it in.
I was getting it in right there at the arcade.
Wow. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I bought her $5 worth of tokens, and I was in like Flynn.
Wow. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. She even let me hold her hand, fellas.
Wow.
Good for you, Paulie C. Good for you.
Very romantic. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Well, don't mess around with me.
That's right. That's right. All right, Paul Cormier. Well, we got to start to wrap up. Kyle Heavey's going to be up at 6 with Off the Mark Sports, but appreciate the call, my friend, and glad things went well the other night.
Love Kyle Heavey.
Yes.
Don't love sports, but I love Kyle Heavey. He's a great guy.
He's in the room, but he doesn't have headphones on, so he can't hear you, but I'll pass that along. Oh, wait, say that again.
Tell him.
He's putting his head. He's putting his head.
I love Kyle Heavey. I love Kyle Heavey. Don't love sports, but I love Kyle Heavey.
Well, I
guy.
appreciate the love there, buddy. I appreciate that a lot.
There you go.
You are the man. You are the man, Kyle.
I can only do my best, and that's all you can ask for, right?
That's right, my man. That's right.
Very nice.
All right, my friend. I will let all of you go back to the fun and hijinks. Matt, you have the absolute greatest afternoon drive radio show.
Thank you.
Let's just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul. All right, bye-bye. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. From the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, you are tuned in to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Plus, I'm anxious to see what these documents are EZG has brought. But first,
I thought it got a little better as time went on.
It did get better, but it was kind of like coming in and out. Like it would be better, and then it would start to sound muffled again.
Right.
And so
maybe,
it wasn't
maybe because he's all the way from New York.
It was not optimum. Let's see. Hello to Michael Martineau in the Facebook live chat. He's also over here. Oh, my goodness. Brian Mackey joins us all the way from Idaho. Brian says G, and it's multiple G's. I think Brian Mackey is glad to see you, Easy G. Are you awake over there?
Yeah.
I noticed you were yawning.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
I know. It's late in the day.
Too.
Late in the day for you. Jenny is in the Facebook live chat.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. AJ Davis joins us. AJ, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you in there. Let's see. Brian says hi to Jenny and to Michael Martineau. And, hi, Matt, LOL. Wayne Noel joins us all the way from Michigan. Brian says a renal scan. No, it was a retinal scan that EZG will have to go through in the future to enter the Brady Sullivan Plaza and this building as well, from what I understand, EZG.
Oh no!
Just so you know, but to come and go in this building, that in fact will be a renal scan. So be prepared for that.
I guess my days are over here.
Well, no, it's just it's really not so bad. Let's see. Brian says Easy G let him off the hook. Wayne Noel says hi to Jenny. Let's see. Amy Hazard King joins us. Says good afternoon and happy Friday. Wayne says, well, the police don't react to anything in New York anyway, referring to if our president were to shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue. Brian says, when I would visit NYC, I would see teenagers blocking police cars with their lights and sirens going, trying to get through an intersection. So part of it is the blank tards kids that live there. Oh, my goodness. And hello to Rocky Huber, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. Now, before you, Easy G, before we throw it over to you in these documents,
the documents.
I just want to say, I just want to point out, I want to remind everybody, basically, and I'm reaching into my bag here. I have, regardless of these documents that EZG has, and I'm sure those are wonderful documents, and I look forward to seeing what's in them. But for those of you watching online, I have in this manila envelope, and it has not left my possession. I take it with me wherever I go.
Have you read it?
No. I put this envelope under my pillow when I sleep at night. I have. Michael Martineau is looking at me very enviously because he wishes he had an envelope like this.
Yeah.
I have in this manila envelope secret documents that were given to me by Stephen Comley Sr., Republican candidate for president, challenging Donald John Trump.
Yeah, he's on the ballot, too.
Yeah, he is on the ballot. Yeah, Stephen Comley Sr. I think I have a voicemail from him that I need to return. I'm bad about that. but I'm sure he will present himself at some point if I do. But I have secret documents.
Yeah, he laid down $100 bills to run for president.
Oh, my goodness. Brian Mackey says, OMG, the Roger Rabbit documents. No, these are secret documents, sir. Please. My goodness. Well, what do you have over there, EZG, for Doc? EZG, are you going to do, is this going to be an entertainment report?
A very small one.
Now, is Peter okay with this? Is Peter White okay with you coming on here and doing an entertainment report?
I tried to get some stuff out today, but there was so many people in the room. It was difficult to get anything out.
So when he calls you and says, EZG, what are you doing? You've cheated on me again with Matt Connarton. You'll just say, well, there was too many people in the room?
This I'm going to save for later. I'm just marking out. I'm just going to talk about two things.
Two things? Wow.
A 2-minute entertainment report.
A 2-minute entertainment report. All right.
Soon I'll be leaving the building, and
so Peter White he'll be okay with you coming here for a quickie, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That doesn't count. Okay. Michael Martineau, why is that funny? I just meant a quick entertainment report. What are you laughing at?
Oh, soon.
What? You get your mind out of the gutter, Michael Martineau. It's bad enough that you come in here and you insult Texans and call them all dumb hillbilly rednecks with spurs on their boots who just walk around in cow poop all day. But now you have a dirty mind, sir. How dare you?
That's the one you said.
Right, yes. Would you like to apologize? Your meme might be listening on KCOW in Dallas, Fort Worth. Would you like to apologize to her?
No, bad. Nothing to do with my meme, so.
All right, EZG, I don't know about you, but I'm beginning to feel that Michael Martineau is a bad influence on us.
You might be, yeah.
He's a corrupting influence. Yes, it started with Scumpy,
yeah,
and now he's corrupting us. But what do you have there, EZG?
Well, with a little over an hour. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was channeling Peter White.
That's what Peter White does all the time.
Yes.
A little less than an hour, but there's going to be an event called Deborah Jams. It's a free event over at the Cafe Laurent, and the lovely Ali Baudry is the host. And
Ali Baudry?
Yes, it's going to be a special guest tonight. Paul Nelson is in the house. I heard him play at the Bookery a while back. He's really good.
Who?
Paul Nelson.
Oh, I'm not familiar with him.
He's an artist. He's played over at the Bookery. He's played at Cafe Laurent. He's played at the that place over across the street from the Palace Theater. There's an art studio over there. I forget the name.
Jupiter Hall.
Jupiter Hall, yeah. He's played all over town. Well, he's played at Panucci's Music Hall, apparently. Carol Robidoux said.
Carol Rubidoux. I think that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, and then later on, after that event is over, it's 5:30 to 7:30. I'm going over to the Wild Rover.
Oh, you're doing a personal appearance. Good for you.
Yeah. And the 2000.
I assume they're paying you.
The 2019 Songwriter of the Year, Amanda McCarthy, will be in the house at 8 o'clock.
Oh, I thought you were the Songwriter of the Year. I thought that's where you were going with that for your album Hard G that you put out. That's got some dope beats and some fire rhymes and
that's
things.
That's my very small entertainment report.
Michael Martineau, Hard G on his debut album, he gets it in, if you know what I mean. That's what the young people say now, I think. They talk about getting it in.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and it's not the least bit whack. I think they say that as well. They say that, right, Hard G? They talk about
not a young one anymore.
It not being whack. Right. You're a veteran of the hip-hop scene.
I'm just an old fart.
Brian Mackey in the Facebook live chat says, wait, what? Michael Martineau, I'm from Texas. Oh, my goodness. You want to apologize to Brian Mackey for
I'm sorry, Brian Mackey.
Boy.
It is interesting to me, Michael, that you will apologize to Brian Mackey, yet you will not apologize to your meme.
I know she's not listening because K-Cow is made up.
K-Cow.
What?
K-Cow is the biggest country and western and talk radio station in all of Texas.
I looked it up. It's in like Washington or something like that. I looked it up.
Are you calling Matt a liar?
Oh, Michael Martineau, would you like to apologize to me for saying that I'm lying about our new affiliate, KCOW, in Dallas, Fort Worth?
I apologize, Matt, about calling you a liar about K-Cow.
Now, I appreciate your apology, Michael, but it is interesting to me that you will apologize to me, but you will not apologize to your meme. Shouldn't you apologize to your meme? Your poor meme. She's probably listening on KCOW.
I apologize, Meme, once again.
Thank you.
My tongue keeps slipping, and then I'm going to a show tonight as well.
What does your tongue keep doing? What? Your tongue keeps what?
Slipping, like
slipping.
Well, what show are you going to, Michael Martineau?
Yes,
I'm going to the Massacre show over at Central High School. They're doing.
You sound like you're doing an entertainment report, Michael Martineau.
Oh, wow.
Yes, go ahead.
Well,
tell us about the show you're going to.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, twice a year, Central High School's Massacre, which is the drama club, does a fall and a spring show. So the fall show this year is Julius Caesar with a World War III twist on it, kind of like a 1984 twist on it.
Oh.
So it's going to be interesting. It runs tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday afternoon. $10 to get in, $5 for students, seniors, and veterans, and then I'll probably hit the rover after that. But on my way over to Electric Avenue Arcade.
Oh, wow. A night on the town.
Yes.
You're a man about town, Michael Martineau.
Yes, I am.
And it's like you're going to be going out carousing.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you'll be able to get in for the $5 ticket. You used to be a student there.
That's what I'm planning on. I'm trying to.
Yeah, but you don't look 17 anymore though.
I do still have a student ID, so maybe I'll use that.
I bet if Scumpy were there, he'd say, hey, why don't you just lie about that you're still a student there? Wouldn't he? He'd just tell you to lie, yes. And then you'd end up getting tossed out, and it would be his fault.
Again. We cleared that one up.
Oh, right. That's right. You did clear the air. Well, I thought, what's funny about that is, I thought you had cleared the air, but then yesterday he brought it up again when he called. Wasn't that weird?
Yeah.
Gumpy called again yesterday?
He called yesterday.
I missed the show, yeah.
And he brought up the whole, you missed the show?
I was with my father, the king of all farts, doing yard work. So.
Yard work? Where are your priorities, sir? What kind of yard work could you possibly have to do in the fall?
Leaves and branches.
Leaves and branches.
Yeah,
Oh,
load to the dump.
Oh boy, why not just let that all just sit there and rot for the winter?
Yeah, that's my plan. But
isn't that easier? Yes. How's your mom doing?
I'm not doing the best. You could do some prayers. Her back's really hurting her.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is she better though? I mean,
lately now.
Oh, that's too bad.
Thanks.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear it too.
Is she in pain?
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez. Well, that's a bummer.
Not good.
It's got to be tough on you guys too.
It's tough for my father, the king of all farts. Believe me.
I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah. But why are you laughing? Are you laughing at his pain?
No, definitely not.
I didn't know if maybe there was
nervous laughter.
Some issues from childhood you were working out there by laughing at him.
Nervous laughter.
Oh, okay. Right. Did you find that a little weird, Michael Martineau, that he was laughing? He's talking about how hard things are on his dad, and he starts kind of laughing. Find that a little weird?
Yes, I do, actually. I'm kind of specific. I mean, suspicious of ECG right now.
Yes. EZG, I think you owe an apology to Michael Martineau's meme.
Why should I apologize to Michael Martineau's meme?
Well, I don't know. You should apologize to somebody. Aren't you ever just? Don't you ever just?
Remember that time I apologized to you, and then I went like that.
No, I don't remember
the
that.
Summertime when I was working at Creamland.
Yeah.
And you were all excited about your Go the Right shirt.
Yeah.
I said something to Peter White at the show, and it kind of ended
up.
And then later on, Peter said, "Oh, you're going to pay for that later on when Matt hears it."
Yes.
And then I called up and I said,
"You hurt my feelings."
It takes a proud man to apologize.
Yeah.
So I apologized, and then I went like that.
And then you kind of pat yourself on the back for apologizing. Yes, you did hurt my feelings, EZG. I wept. Yeah. I wept openly.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Michael Martineau's meme called me to make sure I was all right, and I told her that you would be apologizing to her.
I remember he died years ago, and my grandmother.
Wow, way to bring the.
Hey, it happens.
Well, you don't have to be so callous about it. Hey, it happens. Gee, didn't you love them?
I did.
Well, okay.
They were great people.
Yes. Well,
back in the day.
Back in the day, right?
one day everybody in this room will be gone.
Not me, brother. I'm going to live forever like the kids from Fame.
It's like Hollow Queen there. She says that the other day when she was on the show.
She said she's going to live forever?
Yeah, Peter said, I don't know about
like
that.
The song, like the Oasis song.
I
are going to live forever.
Why would you want to live forever?
Probably not. Well, if I could stop aging and live forever, that would be pretty cool. If I could be a vampire.
You want to be old and then be in a lot of pain. That wouldn't be any fun.
Right. I don't want to be old and decrepit and just continue to live forever. Or what? You know what is interesting to me, ZG? And you're a religious man, right? You believe in heaven and the afterlife.
I try to be, yes.
What if this is something nobody ever talks about, right? What if let's suppose there is an afterlife, but what if it turns out the afterlife sucks? What do you do then?
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not the truth.
Like life.
From what I hear, it's not the truth.
Life is finite, but what if you get to heaven and it's like, it's kind of boring here. I'm so bored I could kill myself. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm already dead.
Yeah.
And this is eternity.
Yeah, from what I hear, that's not the case.
Because, here's why I worry specifically.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, I mean, for one thing, I am pro-choice and pro-gay marriage.
True.
So I will be going to hell. But what if I did, by some miracle, end up in heaven, and then God was like, you did not support Donald John Trump. So, so you're going to be cleaning the toilets here in heaven, sir, because you did not support the most godly president that I ever gave you. You instead chose to mock him, and by mocking him, by extension, you mocked me. What if what that would be so terrible.
Yeah, it would be.
Why are you taking your headphones off, EZG?
I'll be right back.
All right. Are you going to, what are you going to do?
The little boys' room.
Yes,
You
yes.
must know.
Well, I mean, I assumed as much, but just making sure. I was afraid that I chased you off because, all right, good. Yeah. So EZG, he'll be back. He is going to use the restroom. Brian Mackey in the Facebook live chat says, well, it's not like this life was all that great. Ha ha ha. I know, but what if the afterlife is even worse and you're stuck there forever? Oh, boy. Now, what do you think, Michael Martineau?
You just have to deal with what the cards are given to you. If you die and afterlife's bad, you just have to live through it in your mind.
But what if the afterlife, what if instead of going to heaven, you just kind of float around and stuff? That would get tiresome after a while, right? Just floating around, just looking down on everything, just being like, oh, I'm dead. And here I am just kind of, floating around and I'm just going to do this for eternity. Just float around in this nebulous form in the sky. And what if, and you know what would be the worst thing? What if it turns out the whole haunting thing isn't even real? So you're dead and you're a ghost and you're just kind of floating around and you don't even get to haunt anybody. It turns out that that's all fake and you're just for all eternity. You're just there.
Looking down upon Earth.
Yeah. Is that not depressing to think about?
I don't really want to go that far right now.
I mean, I don't mean to bring the show down, but EZG brought the show down with, oh yeah, everybody, all these people in my family just died, and someday we're all gonna die, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right, EZG. Thanks. Someday we're all gonna die. What if it happens all at once? What if there's an asteroid headed toward Earth right now?
Hopefully the U.S. hopefully somebody has a missile to destroy it.
I hope so. But then we run into another problem. So Donald John Trump is our president. So we have to hope that he's competent enough to give NASA the order to fire the missile into the asteroid. What if he gets distracted or something? What if he's busy tweeting that he's mad at somebody, he's mad at Ambassador Yovanovitch or something, and it's Mr. President, we got to do this, and he's like, hold on, and and then we're all dead. I mean, it's possible.
That is true.
Yes, thank you. We know what would happen if George W. Bush were president. when an asteroid was headed for Earth, he'd be in front of a bunch of school kids reading My Pet Goat. And if someone came into the room and said, Mr. President, there's an asteroid headed toward Earth, he'd probably just continue to sit there and read My Pet Goat for, about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was George W. Bush. Speaking of Texas. Now, if you were to say that George W. Bush, was a war criminal, if you were to say that he was like a hillbilly in Texas walking around with boots and spurs, I don't think anyone would mind Michael Martineau. What do you think, EZG? What if there's an asteroid headed toward Earth right now? What should we do?
Say your prayers, I guess.
Right. Brian Mackey is asking, wait, what asteroid? Well, hopefully there is not one. But if there is, maybe we should do like they used to tell the kids in the 50s, if there's like a nuclear attack, you just duck and cover. You get under the desk. Duck and cover. There was even a song. I don't know if that works with an asteroid.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine about what you were saying the other day about those religious characters on television, that what do they do with all their money, and she got really mad. He goes, what do you mean? He said, well, sometimes I wonder what they do with their money. A friend of mine wonders that too.
Yeah. Well, they buy private jets.
I said, some of them have ripped people off. He goes, well, yeah, there's some bad ones out there, but she goes, well, it was just bad.
Don't throw
it makes me wonder, it does make me wonder what they do with all that cash.
Mm-hmm. They're living large, EZG. Living large.
Is that necessarily a good thing, I wonder?
No, it's not. Well, it's not in the sense that it's actually, I think, very anti-Christian. But they don't really believe in God, in my opinion. Like people like Jim Baker
makes you wonder, yeah.
Joel Osteen and whatnot. I believe that
the 700 Club.
I believe that they're actually atheists, because if they really believed in God, they would be terrified to do what they do. Because
isn't the 700 Club the one to do those food things?
Oh, Jim Baker's thing.
Is that the 700
Club?
No,
Pat Robertson is the 700 Club, but Jim Baker does the Staying Alive food buckets. Yeah,
I mean, I saw Joel Osteen. I saw him at Boston Garden, and I saw him at and I read one of his books. I used to be really big into Joel Osteen, but now I kind of wonder,
What appealed to Joel Osteen? What appealed to you about him?
I seem like a real nice guy, but now I start to wonder, I don't know.
He seems a little too nice.
Right. He's like too nice,
Yes. He's kind of secular, though. Like, he tries not to shove his religion in your face.
Right, but he does. There's nothing wrong with money, obviously.
Right.
Everybody needs money to survive. But
yes.
He seems like to have a ton of money.
Yes. Yeah, because he doesn't really believe in God. I guarantee it. I promise you. There's no way.
It makes me wonder. I don't know if 100%.
Because he would be afraid of ending up in hell. It's like it says in the Bible. No, for real. I really believe this. It says in the Bible, it's easier for, a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven.
You're right.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but these people treat religion as a business. And if I remember correctly, because I did go to Catholic school from grade 2 to grade 8, so I remember some, and I believe the only instance in the Bible of Jesus really losing his temper violently was when he walked into the temple and he saw, I think in the Bible they're called money changers. He saw the merchants selling stuff in God's house, and he got really mad and said, not in my Father's house, and he started flipping tables over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually he kept his cool, but that was one day he did not.
That one day he did not.
Yeah.
So, no, I think what these people do is very unchristian, and I think they're not believers. I mean, they've turned it into a business. They've built multi-million and billion-dollar empires, and no, they're not. They're not believers. They can't be. They can't literally. I mean, unless they're able to. Maybe some of them are able to dilute themselves so much that they honestly believe their own BS and this and this prosperity gospel nonsense that, well, I must be extra godly. God clearly wants me to be rich. Like Paula White,
Yeah.
We should all try speaking in tongues together. Maybe the three of us could speak in tongues. It would be great.
Never be able to do it yet.
Right. Brian says, Matt, look at it this way. God must have a sense of humor. I mean, come on, look at the world. So maybe he will say, Matt, loved your show, bro. Come on in. I don't know. I don't know.
God does have a sense of humor. No doubt about that.
You think so?
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. I saw his last Netflix special, and I wasn't that impressed. I'm kidding, of course.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm going to get struck by lightning. It'd be terrible. What would you guys do if I were suddenly struck by lightning? Would you feel bad, or would you kind of be like, hey, you probably had it coming?
I'd feel bad.
You'd feel bad, yeah.
I'd feel bad.
You'd feel bad, yeah.
Some people have get struck by lightning, but that doesn't necessarily kill them.
That's true. That's true. I could survive. It could be a warning shot. Like I could be struck by lightning, and that could be God's way of saying, dude, you got to, lighten up on the Trump a little bit and maybe, stop being so okay with the gay marriage.
Yeah.
But I'd have to stick by my principles.
Yeah.
I believe everyone should have the same rights.
Yeah.
But you believe that too, EZG, don't you? Even though you're a religious man, I believe you are on record saying that you're okay with the gay marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
But aren't you a Universalist?
I go to a couple different churches, yeah.
But you go to the Universalist Unitarian?
Well, First Church and Grace Church, they're pretty much a O&A church. But they're open to all people.
I like the you use.
Because
everyone wins.
All are welcome. All are welcome.
Right. It's nice when everyone wins.
The Catholic Church, they don't really feel that way, unfortunately.
Well, the Catholic Church, it's a little bit different.
They're more rigid. Like a friend of mine says, when you're going to the Catholic Church all the time, you have a harder path to the heaven.
Right. And you have a harder body because you've been doing all those aerobics. If you go to Catholic Mass,
True.
Yeah, there's a lot of sitting, standing, kneeling, jumping jacks. You got to shake hands when you do the peace be with you. All of that. It's crazy.
Well, with all the problems,
you got to spin your partner, do-si-do.
With the attendance at church, you would think the churches would be open for anybody to come in and worship.
That's not how religion works, CZG. No, but it's nice that you go to churches that are more inclusive.
Yeah.
Do they have lunch specials?
Lunch specials?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Hop Knot, $7 lunch specials?
Yeah,
no,
do they have
really.
Because that would get me to go to church.
No,
I would
really.
totally go to church. Yeah. Or if they had like free donuts and coffee.
Yeah. Well,
I'd go to confession for that.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Well, First Church and Grace Church, we don't do confession over there. So.
You do or you don't?
You don't.
Yeah, because that's a Catholic thing, right?
Right, that's a Catholic thing where you go to confession, yeah.
I thought communion was a Catholic thing specifically, but then I found out, no, that do they do communion at the churches?
Well, Grace
you go
Church
to?
does it every week, but First Church only does it first Sunday of the month, and occasionally they'll do it they'll do it at the chapel, and then First Church will do it at the this Sunday they'll do it I don't know if they're doing it. They do it certain Sundays because it's special.
Oh.
World Communion Day or something like that.
World Communion Day.
But they don't do it every day. And then you can get some bread, or you can get a rice cake, gluten free there, and then you get a little little cup, and it's filled with grape juice.
Yeah, so
that way you don't all shake, you don't all drip. You don't all drink from the same cup, which is kind of gross.
Right, yeah.
But they don't do that at St. Joe's Church anymore because they stopped doing it a couple years ago because of the
hepatitis
flu
outbreak.
season.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess they decided to continue it.
Because there is a hepatitis outbreak in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know. I got my hepatitis A shot months ago, and then I got my booster shot. So.
Oh, good.
Yes, because it is quite a big problem here in the city of Manchester.
Brian Mackey says donuts and coffee is AA. I heard from a friend. Oh, yeah. So no donuts and coffee. I'll tell you what, though, if they served pizza, like if they did, let's say like at church, like any church, if they did like maybe pizza and some Diet Pepsi, even just once a month, I would be born again. Pepperoni pizza. Nothing gross on the pizza, though.
No.
Like none of that Hawaiian pizza with the pineapple. That is an abomination. That is an abomination to God, I believe. That is satanic.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yes. You know what's really the most satanic food, I believe, is corned beef. I truly believe if there is a Satan, he eats corned beef. It's disgusting. Corned beef. It's like the texture of it. It's all stringy. It's like meat that's already been chewed.
You like that, Mike?
It is the devil's food. Do you eat that, Michael Martineau? How do you eat that?
It's usually almost anything.
Oh, my goodness. Is that true?
Almost.
Oh, goodness. You'll eat corned beef?
Speaking about that, before I leave,
nasty.
Will you be helping out to clean up after the show tomorrow night when they have all the tables downstairs?
No, that's Boston Pops.
Oh, yeah. We're doing that again this year. Did I tell you that story all about?
Brats and Pops? Is that where you
Boston Pops
you eat
last
some?
year when I was still working there with Michael.
Oh.
They said anybody want to stay an extra hour to help clean up, and all Michael did was help clean up the plates downstairs, all the food.
See, I thought you said brats and pops, like you have bratwurst and soda.
They serve a lot of nice food downstairs for you pay extra money to sit on the floor and you get food. So a lot of people don't come up and get our overpriced food over at the arena.
Oh.
So Michael said, I'll help out, and all he did was help out the plates.
Oh.
Yeah. He had some extra food.
Hey, that's how you do it. Hey, I respect that.
Yeah, I'll work probably 10-hour shift tomorrow, so.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
Oh, my goodness. Are you still working at the farm?
Yeah. Try and work on a better schedule over there, but we'll see what happens.
How is it that you have 2 jobs and EZG has none?
Because I'm more committed than him. Oh, snap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got served, EZG.
I did.
I think the young people say that, right, Michael Martineau? Yes. You got served. You got served a plate of corned beef.
Wow, that's not very nice.
No. Would you like to apologize to EZG for what you said?
I'm sorry, EZG.
Oh, I accept your apology.
Would you like to apologize to your meme?
I apologize, MMA.
All right. Well, good. What? Michael's meme cares about you, EZG. She told us.
She's probably not even listening.
No, she...
But then again, you never know who's listening.
I was forwarded a voicemail that she left for the management at K-Cow saying that she really cares for you, EZG.
Oh, my God.
She thinks you're great. She thinks you're wonderful, and she wants you to go to Texas and visit her.
Oh, boy.
Could be wonderful. You could be Michael Martineau's step-granddad?
Boy.
How would that work? Well, you're old enough, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of scary.
Wow, yeah. You'd welcome it. Would you welcome EZG into your family, Michael Martineau, if he married your meme?
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm not going that far now.
Oh, my God.
Well, I think it would be nice.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a nice reality show.
Yeah, that'd be kind of too weird.
Really?
Yeah.
You could call...
I think my going down the aisle of days are over.
I think the show, it should be from your point of view, and it should be called I Married Michael's Meme.
Yeah.
Be great. I think it'd be a hit. You'd be bigger than the Kardashians.
Yeah.
It actually would be. I would watch it.
Yeah.
And I think I speak for everyone when I say we all would watch it, except for Michael. He'd be too upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting married anymore.
Would you call him granddad?
I was married once.
I'm trying to think about that right now.
Yeah.
He's that'd be too weird for Michael.
Yes.
Right. You've all heard the story, right? When I was a kid and my father and my stepmother sat me down and they wanted me to call my stepmother Debbie. They wanted me to call her mom.
Oh, I've heard that story a couple times.
Yes. And I basically said, I basically didn't say anything. I kind of shrugged like, yeah, sure, whatever. When in reality, I had zero intention of actually doing that. She was not my mother.
Yeah.
But I have no lingering issues with it. It's all been worked out through therapy. I don't have a problem with it now. I don't know why I even brought it up. This was a long time ago. It was when I was a kid. What's it matter now? I'm a grown man in my 40s. I'm obviously past it all. But that woman was not my mother, damn it.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I know. She was not my mother. She was my stepmother.
Boy.
Yeah, exactly, EZG.
Sounds like you were dealing with it like an hour ago.
I don't know why you would say that. How dare you?
know.
You should apologize to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're talking to me like I'm some Texan.
Well, my hour's up, so.
You have to leave us,
much
EZG?
foolishness I can accept for my 3 hours I put it in the radio stations at least.
Oh, my. Well, you've been working hard, EZG.
Yeah.
Yes, you were on the morning show for 2 hours.
I got up at 5 a.m. for all this foolishness.
5 a.m. Clearly.
What Scumpy used to say. I got up at 6 a.m. for 3 years, and couldn't Peter White bring me some muffins?
Right, I do remember that.
And Peter White didn't show up for his show.
I'll tell you what, if they brought me muffins at church, I would go.
But hey, all three of us have shown up for one of Scumpy's shows. And of course, Michael got
That's
thrown
true.
out of one of them.
That's true. You're probably next, EZG, with your track record. You're gonna
I
get...
showed up, and I was there for three songs. Were really my cup of tea, but that's okay.
Right. So you don't like Scumpy's music. Is it too satanic?
Just too loud.
All those minor chords?
Just too loud.
And those distorted guitars? I mean, it is the music of Satan. You can say it.
You're probably right.
Yeah, yes, clearly, yes. And a godly man such as you, with your church and your muffins, you cannot. There goes EZG. He is leaving. Oh, he's wearing a. Why are you wearing a scarf? It's not that cold, is it?
It's cold.
I guess it's kind of cold. There was one day you showed up here. You were so bundled up, I didn't know it was you at first. I thought it was like Boba Fett from the original Star Wars. I could barely even see any of you. It was really strange. I'm not even a big Star Wars guy. I don't know why I bothered to make that reference, but you like Star Wars, Michael Martineau?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm more of a Trekkie myself. EZG, you like the Star Wars?
Star Wars, no Trekkie.
No, you like the Star Wars, but you're no Trekkie. My goodness. Well, that's I heard Michael's meme likes the Star Trek. Just saying. Just saying. Something to keep in mind. You know? She likes you could shave your head. You'd look just like Jean-Luc Picard.
I do that in summertime.
Right. I know. In the summertime, you look just like Jean-Luc Picard. It's remarkable. But you really are. For those of you watching on the Facebook, doesn't EZG look like he's dressed for the middle of February? I mean, I know we had a cold snap, but my goodness, this is you're all bundled up. You look like you're getting ready to go out and make a snowman.
Go out and like a noise with like 20 inches of snow.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, he is prepared. Got to give him that. He's ready. Yes. You are a true New Englander. All right, EZG, thank you so much, my friend. Always nice to see you. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. From the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, you are tuned in to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Hey, Matt, this is Jeff Cassell.
Dr. Jeff Cassell, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I've been watching these fascinating impeachment hearings, although some of this testimony is starting to get pretty redundant.
Yeah, I felt that way too today. I felt like, we're kind of, at a certain point, we're kind of going in circles. I was kind of relieved that they were done testifying before I started the show.
Yeah. But what occurred to me as all of this is going on is, and it's very sad, nearly every Republican on the committee is desperately trying to defend their president, Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
But Trump's transgressions, his outrageous behavior, his insulting behavior, his criminal behavior, and his intimidating behavior is really out there for everybody to see. And the Republicans are now basically in a trap. Now, I'm a registered Republican in this city, and I go to Republican meetings, but I'm the bête noire of the Republican Party in this city. Because I represent traditional Republican values, which is, watching out for the next generation so that we don't dump a massive amount of unpayable debt onto future generations.
Yes.
And the cost of that debt, which is interest. But that doesn't seem to really be characteristic of the current Republican Party, which is mainly now making a giant effort to protect Donald Trump, who's really not much of a Republican. And so they're trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And every day that these investigations go on, Republicans look less and less credible because the terrible behavior of Donald Trump is right out there in plain sight. It's not just the Ukraine scandal. I mean, there are so many scandals surrounding Trump. Trump is constantly trying to portray himself as a victim of other people,
Right.
the victim of investigations. But ironically, he wanted an investigation of the Bidens.
Right.
And he wanted an investigation of Hillary Clinton when he was running for president.
That's right.
And he wants an investigation of the FBI, Comey, and so many other DOJ officials.
Yeah.
He's very happy with investigations of other people.
Of course.
But he's very reluctant and very angry about investigations that look into his political and personal affairs.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Hey, you mentioned. Let me get your. Hello to Wayne Noel, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. Let me get your perspective on this, Jeff, because I think that, and Jenny and I were talking about this earlier. I think I did say it on the show the other day. I think you can take, as far as Ukraine goes, you can take the quid pro quo completely out of it. The quid pro quo part of it, to me, isn't the relevant part. The relevant part is Trump did in that transcript. And by the way, the transcript actually, I think, is in the end helped the Republicans a little bit because it turns out that the witnesses are okay with the transcript as was presented. So that's a little bit of a blow to the Dems because they were pinning a lot of their hopes on these witnesses saying, no, the transcript leaves out all kinds of stuff. However, in the transcript, Trump clearly asks for help for the Ukrainians to investigate the Bidens. So Trump is clearly asking a foreign power for help with his campaign. And to me, you can take the quid pro quo completely out. Whether there was or wasn't, that's not the point. The point is, and the crime, if it is a crime, and we can debate whether or not it is, at the very least, it's incredibly poor judgment. But regardless, he asked a foreign power for help that would benefit his campaign. And the other big thing, too, by the way, is Rudy Giuliani, a man who is not a federal employee, who is not a member of Trump's cabinet, who has never been confirmed by anyone in Congress to be serving in any capacity our country, the current administration, apparently was in charge of our Ukraine policy. And that, to me, he's a private citizen. He's Trump's personal lawyer. I think the Democrats are missing an opportunity there. They should really be hammering that home as much as possible. I think the quid pro quo part is almost a distraction. I think the two big things here to be concerned about, again, are simply that Trump asked a foreign power for help, shamelessly, which he has said he doesn't think there's anything wrong with doing that when there clearly is, and that he's got Rudy Giuliani running our policy in Ukraine. What do you think?
Well, I understand all that. I mean, the irony is Trump kept insisting he got no foreign help from Russians during the last election, but during this election, he's requesting foreign help that will benefit his campaign. So it's complete hypocrisy. But this is not really what concerns me so much. What concerns me is the 40% of America that have to overlook a lot about Donald Trump to continue supporting a lying, cheating, insulting sociopath who is self-serving beyond anything we have ever seen coming out of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do this, you have to ignore an awful lot about Donald Trump.
Right.
Now, in psychological terms, your parents were in mental health, right? Your father was a psychologist.
That's correct. Yes, and my mother was
and so, in order to accept the reality of Donald Trump as their personal hero and savior, they have to embrace a lot of distortion of information. And the cardinal feature of psychological defense mechanisms, as outlined by Sigmund Freud, is that it distorts information so you can transform it in a way that makes it acceptable so you can embrace it. But how in the world is a lying, cheating, insulting scoundrel acceptable even to the 40% of the Republican Party that has obviously lost their minds and lost their way and needs to be reacquainted with their conscience?
Right.
And, trying to imagine that Donald Trump could be reacquainted with his conscience, it would be a fool's errand, because Donald Trump has no conscience. He is completely self-serving, and the whole world sees it, but 40% of America does not. And so this means that the Democrats are leading the Republican Party into a battle that the Republican Party will actually lose, because as these hearings progress, and they'll probably keep it going as long as they possibly can, right up into the New Hampshire primary, a lot of these Republicans who find this need to defend a president of the United States who claims he's a Republican, but actually he's been a registered Democrat for most of his life, they're jumping on board the Trump Express. But in that process, each day they diminish their chances, the Republican senators and congressmen, they diminish their chances for re-election because they are spewing nonsense in defense of the indefensible. You know, the truth is, we've got a lying, cheating sociopath sitting in the White House, and it's out there in plain sight. It's not just the Ukraine scandal. I mean, we're talking about Donald Trump taking vacations that he claimed he wouldn't have time to do because he's going to be working 100% of the time, 7 days a week for the American public. He won't have time for golfing and resorts. He takes his whole entourage, not to Camp David, the government facility. He takes them to his own personal resorts.
Yes.
So he's jetting down there with his entourage, with the Secret Service, and with other members that he needs to confer with in the government, on the taxpayer's dime.
Yes.
And this is a violation of the clause in the Constitution that prevents a president of the United States from personally benefiting financially from the office. And we've seen so many other examples of it. For example, when Trump wanted to hold a G7 meeting at his resort in Doral.
Yes.
I mean, this was so outrageous that he claimed that this would be the ideal location. It was so self-serving, and it was out there in plain sight but I did not see many Republicans in public complaining about this.
No,
but it's not just Doral and his many trips to Mar-a-Lago or his resort in New Jersey. I mean, there's the Trump Hotel in Washington D.C. and if everybody and so many American businesses and foreign businesses are taking rooms there and staying there, and it's an obvious payoff to Trump, who benefits financially. This is so beyond the bounds of anything that I have ever seen in politics.
Yeah,
it's obscene.
It's shameless.
And this is okay with 40% of America.
Absolutely,
and 85 or 80% of the Republican Party. And they're not going to recover from this. This is far worse than anything Nixon ever did.
Yeah.
So I guess what I want to leave you with is the idea that in order for Republicans to protect and defend their hero, even if they privately find him extremely unworthy of protection, they do it anyway because they are being blackmailed by the Trump base.
Yeah.
This base is prepared to jump off a building, a political cliff, with Donald Trump. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just, first of all, let me just clarify something. Stephen Philbrook in the Facebook live chat says, OMG, I just turned on. Is that the Pope? Father Preach. I think Stephen has you confused, Jeff. We have another caller. You do sound a little bit like him, Father Sarducci, who calls in occasionally. I think Stephen thought you were him. You do sound somewhat alike. But Seth,
No. I've listened to Father Bruno Sarducci.
Yes.
I don't respect him because Father Bruno Sarducci compares Donald Trump to the Pope.
Yes.
For Father Sarducci, Donald Trump is almost a biblical messiah to the Republican Party, who he worships.
Yes.
So I'm much different than Father Sarducci. I don't know who is saying that. They're obviously going up a road that is. It's almost like the distortion that the Republicans are using to protect Donald Trump.
Right.
And this protection, the historians and psychiatrists are going to be writing about the Trumpinistas.
Yes.
And the Trump protectors for the next 5 decades.
Right.
Because what's going on is it's almost like these Trump protectors are in some kind of hypnotic trance.
Oh yeah.
And there's no talking to them.
Nope.
I mean, they become furious. I was at a recent meeting, a Republican meeting, and I'd had an argument with this. He's a Republican operative here in New Hampshire, and I said, "Why do you protect a scoundrel like Donald Trump, who's cheated, hundreds of his own contractors, who's cheated all the students at Trump University, who's cheated on his tax-free foundation, which got shut down, and he had to pay a big fine, and who's cheated the taxpayers of America, trying to use tax money to pay for weapons to give to Ukraine if they'll engage in a phony investigation of a political rival, and who's cheated on every single wife. How does a normal Republican who's supposed to care about family values, how do they support a scoundrel like Donald Trump?
Right.
And you know what he told me, Matt?
What?
He said, "Would you prefer that I support a Democrat? Do you have any idea what Democrats have done to this country with Social Security and Medicare? They are bankrupting the country."
Well,
and he was serious.
At least he didn't say butter emails and what about Benghazi? That's usually what they say.
Yeah, well, he probably would have gotten into that if we had had a more extensive conversation. But what bothers me is democracy is actually no longer working. It doesn't work in the United States. You hear politicians say so often when somebody says that they're misstating facts. And they say, "Well, I'm not misstating facts. The American people, the American voter is too smart for that." But the reality is the American voter is an idiot. The American voter doesn't even vote. Half of the votes that potentially could have happened during the last presidential election, half of the people didn't vote.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because they don't care.
Right.
Or they don't even know who to vote for because no matter who they vote for, they feel they're going to get screwed.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot
of that. And they're probably right.
There's a lot of that. A lot of people feel that way. It's not that they're not interested. It's just that they're
what
so
disturbs
cynical.
me so much is the distortion that's going on, on TV for everybody to see when it's very clear that Trump is guilty of so many things. I mean, What about his tax fraud? What about his tax evasion? It's a monumental, corrupt act, and nobody's talking about it. There were extensive explanations, and nobody's talking about it because the Trump supporters claim that all news that is unflattering to Donald Trump is fake.
It's all fake news. Yeah. Well, all they have to do
everything's fake except what comes out of the mouth of Donald Trump.
All they have to do is
the definition of a cult.
All they have to do is turn on Fox, and they'll be told, "Oh yeah, all this stuff is fake."
I do try to watch Fox News. It's very difficult to watch.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to see an American broadcaster, spewing 4 hours a night of lies and then repeating it into the late night hours and the early morning hours.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a complete abdication of journalistic responsibility, and it's really a desecration of freedom of speech.
My biggest issue, Jeff, with the reason I can't watch Fox News is I I don't like that. You know that feeling you get, like that burning sensation in the back of your throat when like you throw up a little bit, but it's only a little bit, so you just swallow it back down. I have a hard time with that. It really bothers me.
And so you're comparing that to watching Fox News?
Well, I'm saying that's what happens if I, watch Fox News.
Now, you know I'm a little bit of an artist, and I've designed a lot of paintings. You know about that?
I do know that, yes.
Yeah, but I had one painting that I wanted to do, and unfortunately I lost contact with the two artists that were working for me. And this is actually an extremely important painting, and so many of the paintings that I've designed are really political in nature. They're fine art, oil paintings, but they're political cartoons as well.
Yeah.
Even though they're very realistic.
Yeah.
And this is the painting. Now, are you familiar with the painting called The Scream?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do that painting again, but instead of the character that was in the Scream, I wanted to put you in that painting.
Really?
With your baseball hat, and the baseball hat would say something on the front of it. I haven't quite decided what that would be. But you would have your hands on your ears screaming.
Yeah.
And in the background, in the corner of the painting, would be a TV set with Sean Hannity on the screen. Exactly.
I love
You got it. Sean Hannity would be on the screen, and you'd be reacting to it, screaming.
That would be
but
wonderful.
without the sound.
Right.
It would be great if we could actually have audio, too, with an oil painting like that. But I never got that painting done. I probably should try to find a local artist to do it for me.
Right.
Because, like you're swallowing vomit, that's the way I characterize what's going on in Fox News. It's very difficult to watch. And it's very hard to explain why people watch it. It's even worse than listening to Donald Trump, because unlike Donald Trump, it doesn't go on for just an hour at some rally. It goes on forever.
Right.
And it's on the net. And the people that are eating up this distortion of information, they can watch it endlessly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure Fox News, has a button you can press so you can watch Sean Hannity or Tucker Carlson or any of their other, hosts that get huge salaries for peddling political lies.
Yeah, I remember at one point we found out that Trump, I don't know if they still do this, but Trump was calling Hannity every night looking for advice.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's a crazy world now, and we're watching. The United States has a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not particularly a defender of the Democrats. I don't like most of these Democrat candidates.
Right.
and especially Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, because their programs will basically double federal spending from about $4.5 trillion to $9 trillion when we can't even afford the programs we've got now. And if, let's say, Elizabeth Warren succeeded in becoming president of the United States, she would have even less influence she has in the Senate, because as president, she doesn't even have one vote on budget bills that go to Congress.
Yeah.
And she's promoting these pie-in-the-sky programs that'll double federal spending, and she actually thinks wealthy people and corporations are going to foot the bill for this. But I don't think that corporations are going to be paying for the medical care of the average American, because Congress is actually a subsidiary of corporate America.
Right.
They run things, not you, not me. They run things because they pay for political campaigns. We don't pay for them. And it's almost impossible. We had last year, we had the biggest corporate tax cut in American history.
Mm-hmm.
A 40% tax cut for corporations.
Yes.
I didn't get a 40% tax cut. I got a tax increase because they reduced and eliminated certain deductions that I took.
Right.
Now, I don't have, much income. I live on a pension.
Yeah.
So I deeply resented corporations that are earning billions of dollars and you're getting a 40% tax cut, and of course some of them don't pay any taxes whatsoever.
Right.
Because there were new depreciation rules. You could fully depreciate equipment in 1 year instead of in 3 years or 5 years or 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an active screwing of the average American, and Democrats have participated in that as well. Don't forget, it wasn't just Republicans that voted to invade Iraq and give President Bush, number 2, the authorization to invade Iraq. There were plenty of Democrats that jumped on that ship as well, including Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden.
Well, this is...
and that Senator Kerry, who, voted for it before he voted against it. I mean, the hypocrisy going on. And so you look at this, and you realize there's no way to have any hope for the future, given the level of corruption that we see in our elected leadership. So democracy has basically completely failed.
Well, I can't. I can't sign on to the part about no hope for the future. I'm too much of an optimist, but I do agree with you. I mean, one of the many reasons, and it's a pretty extensive list, but one of the many reasons why I'm an independent, and I know some people think I'm a big liberal because I pick on Trump, but come on, it's the lowest possible hanging fruit. Of course I'm going to pick on Trump. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't trust any of these people. It's hard to believe in any of them. And I can't sign on to the no hope for the future part. But everything else you said, I really can't disagree with any of it, Jeff, to be honest. I think you're basically right. And they're all they are all in it together as far as, I mean, I always say, I think to reach that level of power federally, I think you have to be somewhat of a sociopath. I think they're all probably sociopaths, maybe to varying degrees. But, I mean, I can't disagree with most of what you said.
Well, I mean, the reason I think there's not really too much hope for the future, Matt, is because over the last 40 years, and it really started 40 years ago, there's been an accumulation of national debt. And for example, during the Nixon years, we went off the gold standard. You remember? You've heard about that, right?
Yes. It's something my
now I'm not a big advocate for gold as an investment, but the gold standard really dictated that every U.S. dollar would have to be backed by a certain amount of gold. Mm-hmm. So Congress and central banks could simply not print as much money as they wanted. Mm-hmm. And over the last 40 or 45 years, I mean, we've had a massive increase in the printing of money.
Oh yes.
But the printing money is usually printed with the use of debt. And when a bank loans you money to buy a car, they only have about 8% of the money they're loaning you on hand. So the other 92%, or whatever it is, the majority of the money, is actually just created by this new debt. Right. And that's the system. It's called fractional reserve banking. That's how money is created, for the most part. Now, in that creation of money, because you have to have debt to create money, there's been an enormous accumulation of federal debt, of city debt, of state debt. There's just massive debt out there which is actually unpayable. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the $23 trillion of federal debt. In addition to that, there's over $100 trillion of unfunded liability for these entitlements that I'm sure you're anxious to get when you reach retirement age, like Medicare and Social Security. These are pensions that older people need to live. Because nobody's going to hire a 70-year-old guy. They don't want to do it. There's too much liability associated with hiring an older person, including medical liability.
I operate under the assumption that it won't be there by the time I'm that age.
Well, it's not just that.
Yeah.
What will be there is the massive interest cost for all of this debt. I go to these town halls and I ask these presidential candidates, who should be in command of all these figures, I ask them, what did we pay last year in interest on the federal debt?
They don't care.
And, of course, none of them know.
They don't know. They don't
care. And
they
take some wild guess.
Right.
And they don't care what anything. It doesn't matter whether they're a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care about this cost. Now, you and I would care if we borrowed, $100,000. We'd care about the carrying costs every month, but the federal government doesn't care because they're not living in reality. and this paralogic that's going on with the Trump administration, it's really mirrored in the Democratic Party, Democrat Party, and even in the Libertarian Party. There's a failure to add 2 plus 2. They can't add. They can't subtract. All they do is have campaign rallies and tell people a bunch of lies and promise things that they can't possibly deliver. This is the political rally because everything now is not real. It's a fantasy. We're concentrating on Ukraine. I don't give a damn about Ukraine. It's an inconsequential country. They're just looking for an opportunity to convince America that Donald Trump is a crook. But anybody sane already knew that.
Right.
There's endless evidence that Donald Trump is a crook.
Right.
And 40% of America is okay with it.
Absolutely.
That is what's so disturbing.
Yeah. No.
Well, I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I'm sure you have many callers that want to talk to you about this issue. But after watching that hearing today, I just had to start complaining.
I understand. Well, Jeff, I appreciate the call.
Well, I'm going to go now.
All right, Jeff. Thank you so much for the call, my friend. That was Dr. Jeff Cassell. Not Father Bruno Stefan. Let's see. Just to catch up on the Facebook live chat. Stefan said, Father, Trump will be doing another volunteer appointment at Walter Reed soon, possibly on a red vehicle with lights and sirens. Oh, that's a little dark. I don't wish that on anybody. For anyone who isn't aware of what Stefan's referring to, there was that weird visit to Walter Reed on a Sunday, because, who doesn't go to the doctor on a Sunday? So he went to, Trump went to get checked out. Allegedly, everything's fine. There was a rumor that he had chest discomfort, but it wouldn't surprise me. When you've got a 70-something-year-old man who is obese, and none of this is to be mean. These are just the facts. He is medically considered obese, and he brags about he eats a steady diet of fast food, and does not exercise because he is on record saying he believes that we're born with a finite amount of energy, and so exercise actually shortens your life because you use up. None of this is to be funny. He has said this because you use up your energy when you exercise. So for him to have gotten to this age and not had an issue is pretty impressive. He's got to have some good genes. A dude his age, at his weight, with his diet, is going to have a cardiac issue at some point. Again, I'm not wishing that. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but I'm not wishing that on him. I would never do that. Not even joking, I wouldn't do that. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was something wrong. And we know we can't trust the medical information that we do hear when it comes to Trump. Remember, this is the guy who, during the campaign, he got his personal doctor at the time, the weird guy Borowitz or something, to release a letter saying that if Trump were elected president, he'd be like the healthiest person ever elected in the history of the galaxy or something because he's in such great health. And then we found out later, like I said, that Trump actually dictated the letter. Oh, boy. Let's see. Stefan also said, agree, referring to what Jeff was saying. How far are these Republicans going to go when they realize that they have dug too deep? Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. From the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, you are tuned in to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, this is Mike from Pittsburgh. What's up?
Mike from Pittsburgh. What's up with you?
Just hanging out today. That was a pretty good get for your show there. And did you say that Hopwood has a big hog?
No. Well, I may have. Okay, well, I may have alluded to
Matt,
it.
Are you friends with Chris James?
I do know Chris James, yes. We've never met in person, but I'm a big fan, and he says very, very kind things about me as well.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm also friends with him. And he told me to call you and get his phone number, which I lost, even though he and I are very, very close friends.
Right. Oh, very, very close. So you've actually met in person.
Yeah. Can I get that number, though?
Now, what number is that?
Chris James's phone number.
Oh, well, see, if I give that to you on the air, everyone will have it. And then everyone will be calling Chris James, and it'll be my fault. And then he and I won't be friends anymore because he'll be mad at me. Well, he probably won't be that mad because he is Canadian, and Canadians are very nice.
Well, that's all well and good, Matt, but don't cross the prankaholics, con man. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was wonderful. I very much enjoyed that. Yeah, you got these teams out there. You got the Prankaholics. You've got Please and Prank You. All of it. Yeah, Chris James, of course, from Not Even a Show, which you can find on YouTube. And I signed up on Patreon to be a patron so I can get the bonus content. And because Chris also does something called, only for members. It's called the Nothing More Show. And I was almost blushing at the most recent clip that he featured of this program in that show. It's very, very nice. Chris is a really nice guy, which is funny because we started out very, very badly. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Yes. Hello, Matthew. This is Reginald calling in from Please and Prank You.
Oh,
play on words there.
Were your ears burning? I was just mentioning Please and Prank You, Reginald.
Well, what a happy coincidence, Matthew.
Yes.
Well, I was just calling in today to ask if I could get some personal details about my friend Chris James. See, we're a rival organization, and we're trying to get the upper hand here,
Right. What kind of personal details are you looking for? Now, keep in mind, Chris and I have never met in person, so I don't even know how tall the guy is. So I don't know. I mean, I'll try to help you out if I can.
Yeah, that's fine. Just anything phone number, middle name, phone number, address, phone number.
I don't know his middle name. Now, I do have a phone number for him.
What's his phone number?
Well, the thing is, as I explained to another gentleman, if I give it out on the air, everyone's going to be calling him, and it'll be my fault, and then I'll feel bad. I mean, literally everyone. Well, at least everyone who listens to the show. It might only be 3 people. But the point is, complete strangers are going to be calling him, and it'll be all because of me. I just, I don't feel right about it.
Okay.
Is there any...
to know on the phone number?
No, yeah, not on the phone number. I mean, there might be other personal details I can share, but again, I've never even met him in person. I just know him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, no problem. I understand that. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for pranking you right now. Please and prank you. That's what we do.
I'm honored.
I'm probably going to lose my job. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Well, I feel badly about that. I don't want him to leave his job, and I do love the name Please and Prank You. I think it's wonderful. But yes, I do have a phone number for Chris James, but I shan't be sharing it. I won't even give his number to John Claude Hopwood, even though John did tell Chris James live on the air that he loves him. He told him in French, but he did say, Chris James, I love you in French. And it was a very, very nice moment. It was one of those, honestly, it was the kind of moment where if it were at the end of a television sitcom from like the 1980s, it would be at the end of the show after all the conflict has been resolved. And then you would hear the live studio audience in unison go, ah, it was that kind of moment. It was wonderful. And that's really what we're about here. We're about moments and bringing people together. And just as now look, I was incredibly tempted to give Chris James John Hopwood's phone number, but I resisted. But I shan't be giving anyone